mind jump from one thought to the next, rehashing a past that you cannot change or a future that's yet to happen? It's fear. It's a driver for all of us. That's your monkey mind at work. It's the subconscious mind that talks to us incessantly. In this video, we break down why your brain won't shut up, why that monkey just keeps talking to you, even in your sleep, and what science says about that monkey mind chatter, so you can learn how to calm the chaos using powerful tools that we'll discuss in this video. Stay around, check it out.
Randy, can you describe the monkey mind and give a few examples of how it affects us?
Well, first of all, the monkey mind is the subconscious mind. And that voice that I say, like the example I use, the monkey sitting on your shoulder, just chatting in your ear nonstop. And you think it's helping you, you think it's guiding you along in your life, but it's actually sabotaging your life. A few examples would be, I'm not deserving of most anything. I'm not deserving of a good relationship, not deserving good health. I'm not deserving more money, And sometimes the monkey will also tell you, hey, you're better than they are. You might go into a board meeting or a meeting, not a board meeting, but a meeting. And the monkey starts to say, you're better than that person. So you need to say things to show them, to prove that you're better than they are, which in reality, it's not true. He's just setting you up again for failure. So to me, the monkey mind is that constant chatter that you hear, which drives your life. It creates decisions. It's impactful. And yet we listen to it. Sometimes we believe it, but it's really, most of the time it's not true. So over time, you start to believe it. It becomes kind of a pattern in our life. And we just don't know how to get rid of it. Well, the point is you can't. I mean, one time I thought, I'm going to get rid of this voice in my head that keeps, but what you can do is learn how to manage it. So, going forward, one of the things I've worked on a lot in my life is not believing what it says.
So explain why the monkey mind keeps us stuck.
Well, I like to refer to it like a loop. It just sort of keeps playing out over and over and over again. And so, you start to think it and you start to believe it, and then it becomes part of your life. You start to act on those. Mm-hmm. And so, the example of I'm not worthy of love. Well, you'll sabotage your relationships because it's become a part of your life. It's become a loop that replays over and over again. Mm-hmm. And then over time, you look back and say, it's true. Mm-hmm. I didn't only because you believed that voice. Mm-hmm. Over time, it becomes your personality, it becomes your beliefs, it becomes your actions.
And where do our habits originate?
That's a good one. It's one of my favorite. So for a long time, psychologists would look at, the 0 to 7 time of our life, sometimes even prenatal. It depends on, how deep you want to go into the theory of it. But when we're born, we don't have a fully developed prefrontal cortex, which is our executive center of our brain, the thinking, processing, decision-making. Mm-hmm. The amygdala, which goes back to our original days, kind of the prehistoric, that's where the fight, flight, or fear lives in our body, which controls a lot of our decisions. So back in the day, the amygdala would protect us from saber-tooth tiger, from, bad things that could happen. Mm-hmm. And so over time, as we're 0 to 7, as the prefrontal cortex develops, we start to have cognitive thoughts like, wait, if you touched the burner and you realized, oh, that hurt. I'm not going to do that again. Well, over time, it's the same. We develop our cognitive thinking, our thoughts. Monkey see, monkey do. Mm-hmm. Right? It's replicating. It's like you're taking a little nothing. A child has no thoughts, and it starts to build on itself. Crawling, walking, riding a bicycle, driving, all these things we start to learn from what I refer to as a major influencer in our life. And that is someone who has an impact on you so much you start to replicate what they do. It could be a parent, neighbor, relative, minister of your church, anyone. And you replicate. And so what happens over time is it works perhaps initially because it gives you a personality. but over time, it's not really yours. So it can affect us positively and negatively.
So in your book, Beyond Limits, you describe the thought, belief, habit loop. And you briefly touched on that a minute ago, but can you explain what that means a little bit further?
Well, it depends on where you're at in your belief system. Again, could have, some people say have 12,000 thoughts per day, some 80,000 thoughts per day.
Right.
But a lot of the thoughts are the same thoughts you had yesterday and the year before and
the minute before.
and the minute before, exactly.
And you just keep replaying the same thoughts over and over.
It becomes a loop.
Yeah.
And so you start looking at the thought, if you could see it, you could actually see it, and then you'd see the belief from that thought, because over time replicated, that thought would become a belief. And then you start looking at how that affects your life again. And then it becomes, you have actions accordingly.
According to the belief.
So thought, belief becomes a habit. And so just like go back to the sort of 0 to 7 prefrontal cortex didn't exist. Well, now we have one, but it's automatic.
Because in 0 to 7, we developed all of the thoughts, which then became beliefs about ourselves and the world around us. During 0 to 7, that's really no time to make our decisions about life and about ourselves. But it does get embedded in us.
That's a good point.
So shifting gears a little bit, tell us about neuroplasticity and how it relates to the monkey mind.
In our brain, we have, neurons, which are cells, and they're connected by these pathways called neural pathways. So these, you've got a neuron, a cell connected by another cell, neuron, and a pathway. Just like going into a forest, you're walking in the trail in the beginning of our life, or any time really, you have a thought. The trail is not worn at all. It's like you're carving the path, and then all of a sudden over time, it becomes a wider trail, and pretty soon it's a paved road, and right. And so it's like your thoughts are the same thing. So you start thinking the same thought constantly. It becomes a well-worn trail. It becomes part of your life. So it's negative thoughts you have. Could be fear. It could be anger, frustration, disappointment. All these things that come into our play in our life become this pathway. You can change that by changing your thoughts, which then can change your beliefs.
So going back to your book again, you mentioned the brain's reward centers, like dopamine. Can you tell us how they affect our decisions and what role the monkey plays?
Well, the neurotransmitters, there are actually 5, but one of them being dopamine, is triggers a response in our body. And a lot of times that dopamine hit is something that it's a feel-good hormone. So what the monkey tries to do is get us to get it attached to these sort of dopamine hits from situations that really aren't healthy for us.
Things that feel good, like shopping or...
Exactly.
Yeah, eating.
Yeah, I was going to say...
Drinking, drugging.
All the above. Yeah, the monkey...
Just to escape.
Exactly. And it's the same thing. It's like you wake up one day and you think, oh, I need a different purse. As a woman, you can relate to this. So now you go get a different purse. So you feel better for a minute. Because the monkey said, hey, I don't think you look quite right yet. And the same with everything we do. You need another car. You need another...
Yeah, I was just going to say for a man, it would be, oh, I need that car.
Oh, absolutely.
That sports car or, whatever to make me whole.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just false. But you get the dopamine for a minute.
Correct.
Or a day or maybe a week.
Yes.
Maybe even a month if you're lucky.
Right. Yeah, if you're lucky. But so that's what the monkey comes in. We believe we need that to be happier, and the moment we are happier. But you're right. That's short-lived. Could be a day, week, month. And then the monkey's going to say, "Oh, by the way, it's a watch you need, or it's it's shoes,
Right.
It's this,
Right.
It's that."
Yeah.
So it creates this picture
Right.
that you're not enough. You need to keep going and buying and getting or doing.
Right.
Yes.
So what are some tools people can use to tame the monkey or the subconscious mind?
I love that question. It's a simple things we can do starting in the first thing in the morning, and that's gratitude. I mean, Gratitude will create this feel good moment instead of, oh my gosh. I mean, if you go right and look at the TV channel, or you listen to some
Look at your email, check your phone,
social media, all of it.
Right.
Well, you're starting out already with fear because, you know, you start looking at, you know, how you want to construct your life through the day. Well, starting out in the negative, it's going to kind of set the pattern. So you start with gratitude, and it sets the pattern in a positive way. And then awareness.
Yes.
One of the most important
Yes.
is self-awareness.
Awareness of what the monkey is saying.
Yeah, you're right.
And then choosing whether or not to believe or to act on it.
Exactly.
And then we can get back to our executive center of making conscious decisions instead of listening to the monkey.
Correct.
Yeah, because when we're in fight or flight, we can't make decisions from our prefrontal cortex.
Correct.
Right. Thank you for all that information. And can you tell folks how they can reach you?
One of the first things you can do if you enjoy this video and the series, you can subscribe, hit the button below. And the other is you can check out my book. And third, check out my website, randylcompidore.com.
Thank you.
Thank you.